Hi everyone, and welcome back to Pause for Self-Care with Di. Today's video is a little bit of a life update. Actually, the next two videos will be, so this is a part of a part one and part two. So I can let you know what has been happening in our lives, why we were actually AWOL for so long, and yeah, this video is from my perspective, and I just thought I'd share. So yeah, please do hit the thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel. I do have plenty of videos to help with mental health. So yeah, here we go. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so a few weeks back, my daughter was involved in a car accident. She went to her bestie's house on the Friday night. It was her birthday that week, and yeah, I have asthma, my son has asthma, Lucy has asthma, so we are both really careful families with our comorbidities. So that gave, like said to me, it's okay. Jane, Lucy's mom, is a superwoman, which you'll see right through this video. And yeah, I just trust that they would give the same care to Erin that I would. And so off she went for the Friday night and spent the day with them on Saturday. And on the way back, they were messaging me, letting me know that they were coming back and going to my house. And the next thing, I received a call from Jane to say that they were in an accident. She said to me, Erin is fine, her kids are worse off, and she thinks that we need to come through to the accident scene like immediately. So I got the address for where they were, put my ripped my socks off, put my slippers on, called my husband, who was watching TV, and rushed out the door. Yeah, we just drove to the scene. We got there, all the paramedics and EMS were already there. We came around the one ambulance, and we saw the car, and I looked at the car, and I saw my daughter, but I looked at her, she really didn't look like herself. I just thank my anxiety medication, because I was floating through the scene. I saw Jane, and she was covered in blood, and I said to her, "Are you okay?" Because here this woman is, superwoman, walking around the scene covered in blood and finding out how everybody else is, and asking everybody else, "Are you okay?" Making sure all the kids are okay, making sure that the people in the other vehicle were okay. honestly, I don't know how she did it. Um, with three of her children injured in the car accident, here she is just motoring on. Um, when we saw my daughter in the car, yeah, my husband took hold of my hand and we were like just standing there. It was crazy, surreal. Um, you just honestly, how I was not freaking out, I really don't know. That's why I keep saying, yeah, thanks for my anxiety medication because that I think kept me calm. Um, I went up to the window and I held her hand. I was like scared to actually touch her because I was scared I was going to hurt her. Um, while we were standing there, they pulled Luce's little sister Grace out of the car. Um, we went to stand on the other side of the car, and my husband just said to me, "You are not going to the other side of the car. There's just like no way. You you don't want to see that. You're not going there." So as they pulled Chase out of the car, who had a severe broken femur, um, that we were standing on the one side so I wouldn't see any of that. It was horrific. He was in so much pain and screaming and crying. It was just horrible to hear and to watch. As a mom, you know, you see it's just it's a lot to feel. You don't want to ever see anybody in so much pain. um yeah. They were all removed, and the fire department had to remove my daughter from the car. So yeah, there was a gentleman standing next to me holding, like reaching through over the seat and holding her hand the entire time, and also speaking to me while my husband was standing behind me. um I kind of freaked out standing there a little bit. I saw the car that hit them, and it was a white Polo, and that's the same car as my psychotic neighbor. And the thoughts that went through my head, and I kept on like asking everybody, what is the registration on that car? Because yeah, if it happened to be him, which it wasn't, I think I would have done things that maybe I wouldn't have regretted, but yeah, anyway. Um, so it wasn't him, but these people, from what I heard on the accident scene, they were coming off the M13 to a stop street. They didn't even slow down to stop at the stop street. They just motored through, hit Jane's car, and just carried on. Yeah, yeah. Jane, the people that were on the accident scene, that it was impossible after that blow at such a speed for Jane to control the car, and she veered over and hit another car, and that was when they flipped over. Um, yeah, I just like kept thinking, just be strong. I watched the paramedics cut my daughter out. Um, Once she was out on the stretcher, I moved to the other side of the car and followed her stretcher, where Paige, the paramedic, had already been checking in with her. Paige was fantastic. Um, she said immediately, I didn't even have to ask you. You coming in the ambulance. I got into the ambulance. Paige checked my daughter over and already said that it looked like her hip was out of joint, but scans would be done to see what further injuries there were. Um, we also found out that one of the local grocery stores has delivery guys, and they were actually videoing like seconds after the accident happened. Um, that's disgusting. That people who stopped to help had to actually chase them away. Um, yeah, my daughter lost her glasses on scene, so yeah, we don't know where those are or anything, but yeah, that's a material thing. Um, we're not even concerned about that. We, from everything that's happened, my first concern was that um, Jane had guilt about what happened, and I just want to say what I said to her again, that I don't blame her at all. I, I saw with my own eyes what happened. I heard what other people said. There's no way she could have prevented this from happening or done any better than she did. She is absolute superwoman. Um, when she fetched her son at hospital, she was actually crying on the one voice note, and it broke my heart because oh, you get so connected to people, and you really feel their pain. So yeah, that was very hard. Um, yeah, we went to the hospital. Paige was fantastic. She said that she was giving Aaron drugs to so that she wouldn't feel the entire trip to hospital. Which, if you watch the video on her channel, um, she didn't feel a thing. Um, yeah, we got in. The nurses like they said, if you want to see your daughter, go in and fetch your clothes. Yeah, for most of the people, they were passing clothes over the admission, and yeah, so I got to see her a little bit in the admissions, fetching her clothes and just having like a few minutes to hold her hand, and also just to speak to the doctor. That was the second time they allowed me in. The doctor explained that she did have a fractured pelvis, so she would have to stay at hospital, and that her hip was out. That it was just a very long wait, really, until Monday. So yeah, it was crazy. I just not being able to see your child when they're in hospital is horrible. It's frightening. You don't know what's going on. um you can't hold her hand when she saw anything like that. It's just bad. But the nurses were absolutely wonderful. Um Sister Nika, um yeah, she answered the phone. She was actually from the men's ward, and when she answered, when I called, she'd turn around and say, let me just look at her file quickly, then I can tell you what's happening. And she was extremely helpful, even though she was with the men's ward. And Erin's nurses were fantastic. um Her doctor, just for not wanting to operate and for looking at and treating her as best he thought was right. And yeah, I just think everything was done so well. to the people at the scene, the lady who was crying because she had experienced something similar at the same spot. Just thank you so much for being so kind. To the gentleman who was holding Aaron's hand, to the other lady standing on the side of the road. Um, yeah, I'm just so grateful for everybody there. Um, I'm grateful to Hazel Barlow from Westville Baptist, who started a prayer chain for our children. Um, Prayer is amazing. Um, if you don't pray, spend a little time every day praying. Um, Pray to be grateful. For me, if it wasn't for gratitude for the people who stepped up, for Jane who stepped up, I wouldn't have got through this. Um, People have really been amazing. I mean, we were going through the violence and the looting here in KZN at the same time that this accident occurred. And Hazel, even, we were just discussing generally, and I said, I'm not going to go and stand in the queues at the shop because, we have asthma and comorbidities. And she managed to get some milk and she brought me a bottle of milk. So just these small things of kindness from people, you don't expect it, and it's amazing. um I have to say a huge thanks to my SADAG family, the support group leaders family. You were amazing. Thank you to my personal Pause for Self-Care support group. You were amazing. To the Angel Connection teachers group, I really thank you for your prayers and angels of healing. Um, yeah, Erin has improvements every day. She had improvements every day in hospital. Obviously, we were wishing she was home every day, and we were wishing we could visit her, but yeah, we couldn't. We thank the physios who got her exercising and got her to use the walker first, then to get onto crutches. And every time there's just a little thing like this, you like say to yourself, okay, it's closer to home day. That's all you focus on. um I remember saying to Erin, I'm your cheerleader and I will keep cheering, and you just keep doing that work and we'll get you home. um yeah, we got her home. And I just, I had actually had to appear in court on that day, which is the second life update. But I fetched her before. I couldn't wait. I kissed her and kissed her and kissed her and sat with her and held her the entire day because, God, it's horrible being apart from your children, especially when you're so close to them. Um, yeah, everybody's alive. It, you know, it's amazing that everybody's alive, because if you look at the vehicle, it could have easily been different. Yo, at home, recovery's been slow but good. There's differences every day, and I'm grateful just to see that. And I really want to say here from a mental health perspective that if you go through trauma, to look at gratitude and look at the littlest improvements, and the smallest things to be grateful for. It helps so much. It really has. It's helped me so much to just focus on the good things. The time has really been difficult. We've all been exhausted. My son has struggled through this so much too, and just it's made our family closer in the long run. So yeah, that's another thing to be grateful for. Um, just yeah, if you can do anything, focus on the good things that do come out of a situation. Focus on that gratitude, because yeah, it's so helpful. Um, yeah, there are other ways to help your mental health, but start with gratitude. I really can't say describe in words how amazing it has been and how it's helped. Um, yeah, I hope I am not missing out anybody in the thanks. Thanks so much to Jackie, who's been my lifelong friend, for messaging Erin and taking, care to message and see how everybody's doing. To Hansi, thank you so much for messaging Erin. To, when you're sitting in hospital and you're sitting by yourself, it's so nice to actually receive messages and know that people are thinking about you. So I appreciate that so much. I appreciate Lucy so much, because yeah, the one day there was just a video call and I could see Erin in hospital, and that was I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful to my son, because we've had to call him on like a moment's notice to help Erin out the shower because she couldn't move and she was shivering at one point, because we have had a few chilly days in between. He's just there to lift you up and carry you emotionally and figuratively, literally. He's there. um Thank you to my husband who helped with cooking during the violence and that, because he was off work. Thank God he was off work. um Everybody has just stepped in and stepped up, and I know I'm carrying on a little bit, so I'm sorry for that, but I just want to make sure that everybody understands how grateful we are for everybody who did help and who were so wonderful. Especially to Jane, who, yeah, she is superwoman, and I just want her to know how fabulous and how kind and gentle and amazing she is. I never want her to forget that. So yeah, our kids are alive, they are healing, they are doing okay. And yeah, I think I'll end off there. So yeah, please do subscribe and watch my next video update, life update. Yeah, I'll be telling you about my court process of getting a protection order. And yeah, so do hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment below. And I'm really sorry for blubbering and carrying on, but yeah, I think it was so important for me just to let you know what had happened, and also just see how amazing people can be. That's, yeah, during the violence, I posted, always look for the volunteers. because that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on the good. So always remember to focus on what's good out there. Be grateful, because life is hard enough, and it's not worth focusing on the negatives. It's so important to focus on the people that care and that step in. So thanks to all of you for watching, if you've watched to this point. And yeah, till next time.